Yeah, we are in the midst of
Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to episode 15 of my Minecraft survival series. Thank you so much for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. In today's episode, we have very big plans. In today's episode, we are going to do a lot more with some of the new 1.16 features. But the plans for this episode are actually going to start right here in the mega base because I have a big announcement to make about the interior of the mega base. Very soon, we are going to get started on the foyer, which is this room right here. We're going to start building up the walls and we're going to decorate the crap out of it, and it's going to look awesome. I have the design ready in my creative world, and all we gotta do is just plop it into place. I don't know if we're gonna end up doing that on a live stream or not. If I do, make sure you guys tune into that live stream because it is going to be super awesome. If not, we'll probably do a time lapse or something like that. It depends on how I'm feeling. But anyway, that's actually for the rest of the episode. The first thing that we're gonna do in this episode involves the gold farm and Piglin Bartering. It's so awesome to have Optifine once again. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm zooming in on my face. We now have Optifine for 1.16, which is super awesome, and our frames are out of control as they usually are. We're getting at least 100, about 99 on average, which is pretty crazy. But before we pop over to the Nether and get started with the project for this episode, I just wanted to point out to you guys that I am now using a few resource packs. Nothing that's breaking the game. I'm not going to use anything that's going to drastically change the game, but it's more for quality of life sort of things. Like, for example, grass blocks, if you can see right here. I'm using what are called the Vanilla Tweaks resource packs. It's actually really awesome resource packs that are created and maintained and presented to everybody by Assumevoid, who is a rather popular Minecraft YouTuber. So as you can see, like these grass blocks right here, it just kind of drops the grass along the side. I think that looks really cool. It does similar things for like path blocks and the new Nylium blocks and all that. You can see on my hotbar down below, I now have the numbers for each of the items. It just makes it a little easier to assign what goes where. And if you take a look over here at some of these hoppers, you can see that on every side of the hopper, there's now arrows pointing in the direction that the hopper actually goes. We also have a similar new texture for observers as well, so it's a lot easier to determine which way observers are pointing. Just some quality of life things that I find really interesting. If you guys would like to get any of these Vanilla Tweak resource packs for yourself, I will link the Vanilla Tweaks website in the description. What is that? Is that a grass block on the roof of the Nether? How did a grass block get on the roof of the Nether? Is this a thing? Well, apart from that oddity, whatever you want to call it, we are now over at the gold XP farm above the roof of the Nether because we need to do a major revamp to this. So an episode ago, or a couple episodes ago, I can't remember exactly when it was, I came up here and I was like, oh, you know, this thing still works really good in 1.16, blah. No, turns out I was a total jagweed. This thing is slightly broken in the fact that the regular piglins can now spawn in here. A lot of zombie pigmen will still spawn, but once they start dying off, regular piglins will start spawning, and then eventually the mob cap will be reached, and we'll just have a bunch of regular piglins, which we absolutely don't want. So the way that we're gonna fix this is we're actually going to replace all of the terracotta that we have in this farm, which took forever to mine and whatever. And we are going to replace it with magma blocks. And I did some rough math and I needed about 60 stacks of magma blocks to replace all the terracotta, which is quite a bit of magma. But off camera, I went and did the work, and I've got these few shulker boxes. I'm wearing a gold helmet, dude. Why do you gotta shoot at me? Yeah, so we got these shulker boxes here, and all of them are pretty filled up, except for that one. I got a bunch of bone blocks and stuff for that one. But most of these are filled up with magma blocks. We got 2 shulker boxes completely filled with magma, and then one that has a bunch of other magma, and this should hopefully be stop it. This should hopefully be enough to replace all of the terracotta in this farm with magma, and this is probably going to take a while, but it's something we're going to have to do if we want the rates of this farm to improve. And we also want just the zombie pigmen because we want to maximize our gold profits from this farm because, like I said, we have big plans for a piglin bartering system that we're going to build right below this farm. above the roof of the nether where we are. But anyway, first things first, we've got to get all the magma blocks replaced, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. When you were a kid, did you ever play The Floor is Lava? Well, I'm now playing probably the most extreme game of The Floor is Lava ever. And it looks like I'm able to jump between these two, but I don't think I can get back into the middle without placing down some scaffolding. But that's whatever, I can sacrifice a couple pieces of scaffolding. But anyway, the farm is done. I have replaced all of the magma blocks, or I'm sorry, all the terracotta blocks with the magma blocks. And that took about an hour and a half. It wasn't too bad, actually, considering that the original design took a lot longer than that. But anyway, let's pop into the center over here. And bye-bye to these couple pieces of scaffolding. No biggie big. But yeah, we are now ready to go. So we were able to scavenge quite a bit of the terracotta. Not all of it. Some of it kind of fell down to the floor. And we're left with what looks like 3 stacks plus 10 of magma blocks left over, which is actually pretty cool. We're going to have to pop that back into the storage system. But anyway, now that we have the rates on our farm extremely, extremely good, it is time to start designing our Piglin trading booth or center, whatever you want to call it, and get all of the Piglin drops. So they're actually going to be nerfing Piglin trading a little bit. Well, not necessarily nerfing it, but just kind of lowering the rates of a few things and getting rid of, I believe it's glowstone, and I can't remember what the other thing was. But anyway, glowstone's not that big of a deal. And they're lowering their rates on some of the things like ender pearls and a few other things as well. So we want to stock up on all of those items before they nerf it. So we're going to go ahead and design the Piglin trading post. So we're going to pop down right over here to where we have our gold storage. And looks like we got a ton of blocks down here to pick up. But anyway, we got quite a bit of gold in here right now. It's not a crazy amount, but we need to get a ton of gold so that we can get crazy rates from our Piglin Trading Center. And I think where we're gonna put this thing is probably directly underneath this. So over here somewhere, kind of directly underneath. That way we don't have to worry about any of the Piglin up top falling down on top of it. That was kind of an issue. But you know, I'm not too worried about it. But anyway, we're gonna build it directly underneath here so that we could even potentially feed all the gold bars we have in these chests right here directly down into it, and we don't even have to worry about it. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get started with that design. But first, I think we're gonna AFK a little bit here. Well, technically, if I kill them with my looting sword, we will get better rates. So we might not AFK, we might just sit here and click for a little while so that we can get a ton of gold stock up on it, and then we will get to that design. A couple hours of AFK later, and we have that much gold. Yeah, so that's about 33 stacks plus 9, not too shabby, about an hour and a half of AFK. Of course, the gold rates aren't as crazy as some other farms, simply because this is a gold / XP farm. It's optimized for XP actually rather than gold, but it still gives you a pretty good amount of gold. It's a little over 2k gold bars. We got a couple nuggets just chilling, and we have filled up all 3 of our chests with rotten flesh. So I think we're definitely gonna need to expand this storage system. And I think we'll take all this rotten flesh and we'll go trade it with our clerics. I really don't know what else to do with it right now. But anyway, so that is our AFK session all done. I was trying to AFK overnight, and it turned out that I woke up in the next morning and I was dead. I don't know how I died exactly. My theory is that there was some pigmen that went down the ladder. Somehow, a couple of them got down here. I think it's when I was replacing the magma blocks, a couple of them got down here and I just pushed them down the ladder. I think that those pigmen on the floor actually got aggroed and climbed all the way up the ladder and were able to get to me. So to fix that, I built this glass, I guess, protective box around myself and replaced the trapdoor with a piece of cobblestone, and then I was able to AFK for about another hour. So I think overnight I was only able to AFK for about half an hour before I was killed. And then I got about another hour into it, and yeah, so we ended up with all that gold and 134 levels. That is pretty good if you ask me. But anyway, yeah, it's about time to get started with the design of the Piglin Trading Hall. I really don't know what the design is going to be, and I don't think I'm going to have any sort of design beforehand, so we're just going to go in blind and see what we end up with. We popped over to the dark forest that I discovered a long time ago that I've already kind of deforested to create all the chests I need for my storage system. And we are over here because we are going to need quite a few chests to make all of the storage that we're going to use for the Piglin Bartering system. Now, it's gonna take roughly, what do I want to do? I want to do 5 chests per item. Now, each Piglin can give you a ton of different items with each trade. So we're gonna need a lot of storage for this thing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 5 chests per item. There's 13 different items that the Piglins can trade. Things like gravel, iron nuggets, crying obsidian, regular obsidian, glowstone dust, etc, etc, etc. So we're gonna create 5 chests per item in the storage system that we're going to create. And then of course we're gonna have an overflow for all of the miscellaneous items, things like the soul speed books and etc, etc, etc. So we're gonna need upwards of 200 chests, single chests, for the items. We're also going to need some for a lot of the hoppers as well, because we're going to make a sorting system for all of the items. But anyway, we're going to have to spend quite a while in this dark forest doing some more deforestation in order to get all the wood to create these chests. Alrighty, so here's the platform that we got so far. We got all the wood and the hoppers that we're going to need for this build. Like I said, nothing too crazy. I'm not trying to go above and beyond here. I'm just doing this to see what kind of drops we can get, see if we can get those soul speed boots, see if we can get a couple other things. And of course, it's an endless supply of iron, it's an endless supply of glowstone, well, until they nerf it, which is, I'm pretty sure in the next update they're nerfing a couple things. But anyway, this is the tiny little platform. So over here is where we're gonna have the piglins. You really don't need many piglins. If you guys are watching this to try and learn a little bit more about this, you do not need that many piglins. Not at all. 5 is plenty. They drop a lot of items. It goes very, very, very fast. So take my advice. Anyway, so over here is where the piglins are gonna live. There's gonna be 5 of them in here. And over here is where all the storage is going to be. We're just gonna run some hopper lines. It may turn out that the hopper lines aren't good enough. They might not be fast enough. I was kind of testing this out a little bit before, and it might not be fast enough to keep up with the items. If not, we'll have to figure out a faster way, maybe build some piston elevators or something, because you obviously can't use water streams in the nether. But anyway, so there's 14 different lines of chests over here. 13 of them are the stackable items and 1 for the non-stackable / rare items. That was a little close. But anyway, we're gonna have dispensers behind the piglins right here. We're gonna load up those dispensers with a bunch of gold. We're gonna have a kill switch, and then we're gonna build a hopper clock, a traditional hopper clock, which I'll show you guys on camera in case you've never built a hopper clock before. That's basically going to fire off a piece of gold every, I think it's about 6 or 7 seconds, which is the time it takes for the piglin to inspect it, make sure it's real, bite down on it, make sure it doesn't bend, whatever piece of gold you throw to them. And then every 6 seconds, 6-7 seconds, like I said, it's going to show the piece of gold. They're going to throw their items down to the hoppers. The hopper's going to carry them up. We're probably going to have some sort of item elevator, probably using droppers, and put them into the storage system right over here. We're going to have 5 chests per item. And after that, that's going to be pretty much it. I don't know about prettying this up. I'm just going to make sure it's pretty spawn proof. But like I said, this area was never really meant to be pretty. I'm just trying to get as much as I possibly can out of it. So let's go ahead and start getting this stuff in order. In terms of spawning the piglins, I'm probably just going to make a little platform off in that direction where I'm facing in that direction. Just make a little platform where stuff can spawn, and then hopefully we'll get some piglins spawning on it, and we can lure them over here and get to them into their respective houses where they will forever be in my servitude. What? What is going on? So I've been up to this for about half an hour or so now. I built this little platform over here. I've been waiting for piglins to spawn on it, and I got 1. 1 piglin in a half an hour. And I want to get 5 into the system. This is gonna take a lot longer than I thought. I seem to get a heck of a lot of zombie pigmen, but not very many regular piglins. I got 1, and I didn't even manage to get him into the thingy, because as you saw before, one of my iron golems thought it'd be really awesome if he would jump down and just start wrecking everything in this area. I don't know what's going on right now, nor why he thought that that was a good idea. But yeah, that happened. We lost the only piglin that we got in the last half an hour. So that's 4 piglins into place. I'm trying to reel this last one in. It's proving to be rather difficult though, because he's on the opposite side of where I want him to be. Okay, we're almost there. Let's see if we can get him all the way over here. Come on. Ooh, can we sneak him in through here? Let's see. Break this. Come here, dude. Here we go. Okay, let's see if we can place the glass really quick. Get out of here! This isn't free. Okay. Not too much longer later, and we have the entire system complete. So all in all, that probably took maybe 3 or 4 hours or so. Not too shabby. This system is working like a charm. I've already tested it out. I've gone through 10 gold ingots per piglin over here, and it works like crazy. So let me walk you through the entire completed system. So here are all of the apartments that each of our piglins are chilling in. Now, if you guys are building this, do not forget to name your piglins. They will despawn if you wander too far away. I have named them all after famous piggies. So I think we have Babe, Piglet, Miss Piggy, I can't remember the last 2 off the top of my head, but they're all famous pigs. Oh, Peppa Pig is one of them, and whatever, whatever. But anyway, over here is the storage. We have quite a bit of storage for each item. 5 chests per item, and then we have the miscellaneous item down here. And looky, we already have a Soul Speed 2 book, which is pretty awesome. Quite a bit of string is already piling up. Quite a bit of gravel is already piling up. Quartz. As soon as we get 41 items in each of the sorting hoppers, we will start to see the items flow down into these right here. And quite a bit of leather is coming through this as well, which is super awesome. We got 36 up there, and we got 3 down here right now. So essentially, here is how the system works. Each of them in their little apartment, they have a dispenser behind them, and they have a hopper directly below them. Now, the beauty of this is that the dispenser will shoot the gold right into their faces, and they will pick it up before it can be consumed by the hopper. And back here, we have our hopper clock, which is controlled by a lever out here. So if this lever is down, the system is off. The hopper clock is not going to fire. If I flick that switch up, then the hopper clock will fire and emit a redstone pulse into each of these dispensers roughly every 9 or 10 seconds. So this is the hopper clock right here. If you guys have never seen one of these before, these are pretty popular hopper clocks. I believe Etho was the one who came up with these. We have a redstone block being pushed back and forth by 2 sticky pistons, and in the 2 hoppers below that redstone block, we have random items. It doesn't matter what the item is as long as it's stackable, and the more items you put in, the longer it will be between pulses. So I have 14 items in here right now that are bouncing back and forth between. So essentially the redstone block is going to lock the hopper that it is on top of, allowing this hopper to flow the items into the other hopper. And once it's all the way over there, the redstone signal, once all of the items have flown to the other hopper, the redstone signal over here will cease, and this piston will shoot back at the same exact time that this piston shoots out, essentially alternating back and forth. That is the idea behind the hopper clock. Now, all of the hoppers below each of the piglins are leading into a hopper line that is directly below me right now. And this hopper line, you can see one of them right there, is leading into this item elevator, which is built using droppers and observers and note blocks. If you guys are curious about how to do that, I can show you a tutorial. Just let me know in the comments. And then that leads into these hopper lines up here. And those items will drop into their corresponding sortable hopper like so. So, it's time to use this system in bulk. I'm gonna load up each dispenser with 2 stacks of gold for now. We probably could just load them up completely, but 2 stacks I think is enough for now. We're gonna flick it on, and then we're gonna show you guys this baby in action, and then probably do some AFK. So let me go over here and flick the lever. And then within about 8 to 10 seconds, the first gold ingot should shoot off into the piggies. And there you go. So they'll inspect it. Once they confirm it's real, they throw out their items and the items will load up into the system over here. So with that 2 stacks of gold, it is time to do some AFK with this system. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for episode 15. If you enjoyed it, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up. And if you're looking forward to future videos in this series, do hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. And I will see you guys again. Stay tuned so you can see all of the loot that I get from this crazy system. And stay tuned for the next live stream as well. And our monthly parody for the month of July is coming up, so stay tuned for that as well. I have big plans. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Taste of the, yeah, yeah, yeah.